Merry Christmas. Apologies to the Patreon guys. Of course, it's actually the middle of November and they're getting this now. But YouTube, if coming out on YouTube, I'm guessing it's almost Christmas. So, yeah, but any excuse to put my reindeer top on. I'm going to take the hood off. It's a bit too warm. Right, so what have we got for you today? Okay, so today, I'm not running this week. It's a bit of a weird one. I woke up a couple of days ago with a sprained ankle. Went to bed, healthy, no problem. Woke up with a sprained ankle. I can only assume that I was sleepwalking. I do occasionally sleepwalk. And I can only assume I was sleepwalking and I've sprained it in the night and then got back in bed. Weird. Anyway, it's really quite painful. I couldn't put my foot down. It's a couple of days on and I can put my foot down now, but it's still not right. So it'll be several more days before I can run it yet. So I thought this week, let's do some of those videos which I've been meaning to do, but you know, haven't got round to. So there's two videos I want to do. One is this one, where we run through my top 10 videos, running videos for the year. So I totted it up. So far this year, and I'm not finished yet, there have been 64 running videos. That's routes and what have you. And on top of that, there have been some cooking videos and product reviews and what have you. 64 routes. So I thought I'd run through of those what are my top 10. Of course, it's a completely subjective thing. They're all great, frankly. But some of them, it may have been, you know, just an absolutely stunning view, or it may have been just a perfect day. Just, you know, sometimes you go out and it's just perfect. So I'm going to run through my 10 favourites for the year today in this video. There'll be another video I'm going to do next where I'm going to do a cooking video. Yeah, as you know, I'm on keto and I've been keto for several years to maintain a sensible weight and keep my blood pressure down. And yeah, most of the time I have a fairly simple diet, but come this time of year, you're surrounded with all this Christmas stuff, which is tempting. So I do try to make a few nice things. So last year I did some cooking videos and I showed you things like my Black Forest chocolate cheesecake, which is based on a Mad Creations recipe. Details of this will be in the description. And then, you know, what else did I make? Trifle and baked ham, all sorts of tasty stuff. So you don't feel like you're missing out in the over the Christmas period. So yeah, it's later on the next video. Watch out for that. I'm going to make Stollen, sugar-free, low-carb friendly, keto-friendly Stollen. Yes, it can be done. But anyway, on to today's video. Right, sit back and relax and let's get into it. So, at number 10. So we started the year in lockdown and I got to run pretty much every single path in and around Sandbatch, because with the lockdown you weren't supposed to travel anywhere. So I was basically starting from the middle of Sandbatch and working my way out in all directions. And that was really fun, actually, because although I've lived in Sandbatch for years and years and years, I discovered, it made me discover all the paths, and there was some there I'd not come across. So at number 10 today, we have Brookhouse green. And that was great. So I ran out from Sandbatch and up towards Betchton, and then over the fields to Love Lane, and it was a perfect day. It was one of those blue sky days, middle of winter, freezing cold. I mean, sub-zero. I was wearing a buffalo shirt, I think. It was that cold. And yeah, through to Love Lane, through to Four Lanes End, and then at Smallwood, and then across the fields to Brookhouse Moss. So the mosses of Cheshire are the boggy bits left over from the last ice age, basically. And so that was lovely. But it's not very far away, but I'd never been there. And the whole route is almost all off-road. It was great. And I loved it through the moss, and then come back through Arklid. So if you haven't checked, I'll put links to all these as we go through. If you haven't watched that one, go and watch that one. That was super. I really loved that. Okay, what's next? Number 9, the Roaches at Dawn. Yeah, that was lovely. Right at the end of August. It's not a long route. I got there. It was, I don't know, about 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Because back then you had to get up super duper early to get to arrive in the dark. So I got there in the dark and aiming to get up just as dawn was breaking, basically. So you have to bear with the first couple of minutes of the video because it's quite dark. But the view, I mean, the nice thing about the Roaches is you actually start quite high up. So there is a climb. It is a climb to the top, but it's not actually that much because you are starting fairly high up. So I ran up to the top. Didn't see very many people up there. There was one chap who beat me there, was sitting on a rock and enjoying the view because it was one of those mornings where you were above the clouds and it was just like the mist rising above Staffordshire. It was gorgeous. Then up to the top, and then you've got the views of the sun coming up, and headed out to the Trig Point, and then dropped down the far side to Roach End, and then back along the road. And as I was heading back down the road, there was some deer coming. You know, that was beautiful. Yeah, I did fall over at one point. The path was the path goes over over a field which had long grass, and it was rutted, and yeah, but I only hurt my pride. Yeah, so that's number 9. Love that one. Right, what's next? Number 8, the Baker Way. And this is normally when I film routes, I make them circular. I'm not a big fan of a there and back again, so I've done a couple of there and back agains, but I much prefer them to be circular. However, the beauty of the Baker Way is it's got a train station at both ends, and so you can do a one-way route, and that's what I did. And I've actually gone on and done a few more one-way routes because it's great. A one-way route is great because you feel like you're covering an awful lot of ground. It just feels more of an adventure because you are going in one direction. So yeah, the Baker Way is named after Jack Baker, who used to be the footpath officer for the Cheshire County Council, and it runs from Chester train station through to Delamere Forest. So I parked up at Delamere Forest and ran through to the train station, and then got the train to Chester. Now, and I couldn't go to Chester and not run along the walls. I just couldn't. So I walked into Chester, up onto the walls near the amphitheatre, and then ran back to the train station and then down the canal. And again, it's a lovely route because it's all footpaths and all off-road. So I went, let's see, so you go down the canal, and then you cut across through to Hockenhull Platz, which is the old it's the old Roman road. So there's the river there and some more boggy ground, and the bridge there dates back to, well, the original bridge was Roman. It was that they found the wooden remains of the bridge. But there is a bridge there now which is more modern, I don't know, a few hundred years old. But it's just got a lovely atmosphere, lovely feel to the place. And then from there you head through Tarvin, and then from there through the back of Peel Hall, through to Molesworth, and then on to Brinesbrow and through to Delamere Forest. The only issue I had on the day I did it, well, two issues. One, it was a beautiful day, really beautiful day, but it was very, very hot, and I ran out of water. I drank about 3 litres of water, and I got to Tarvin, and I drunk it all, and I should really have. I was eyeing the pub, and I thinking, no, I really shouldn't stop at the pub, but I should have done. I should have stopped at the pub and had a pint of soda, because by the time I got to Delamere Forest, I was really, really very dehydrated. But yeah, that was a lot of fun though. So yeah, go check out that one. Great route, that. Really, really lovely route. You cut through right the way through the heart of Cheshire. Okay, next, number 7, Cawsand. So yeah, I filmed this while I was away on holiday in Cornwall. If I'm in Cornwall, I can't resist running along the coastal path. And so I had a quick look at the map, and Cawsand looked like a great spot for it. Cawsand is a beautiful little fishing village with a beach. Yeah, so I ran out of there, and you run down the coast, past Fort Picklescombe, is it? And then up into Mount Edgecombe Country Park. And then from there, you go across, there's a lovely old church. Can't remember the name of the place now. Maker, that's the place. Lovely old church at Maker. And then back through to Cawsand. Now, it wasn't a massively long route. Again, it was a really hot, that was filmed on a really warm day. And so I actually, if you watch the video at the end, I finished by taking off my hokers and just walking into the sea to cool off. I didn't go all the way in. I only went to waist deep because I had all my electrical equipment on. I didn't want to ruin it, but yeah, straight in. That was a beautiful day. So go and check that one out. So what's next? 6. Great Budworth, another local route in Cheshire. So yeah, what's great about that? Well, Great Budworth's a beautiful spot. They filmed several things there because it's just it's a picture postcard Cheshire village. So recently the BBC dramatisation of War of the Worlds was filmed there. If you're as old as me, you'll remember the TV programme, the Hinge and Bracket TV programme, which was also filmed there. Anyway, so I start there, and there's a lovely pub there, the George and Dragon. So unfortunately, when I filmed it, we were only just coming out of lockdown. It was one of those, it was one of the reasons it was so great. Well, one, it was a beautiful blue sky day, and it was just spring was in the air. It was just a lovely day. Unfortunately, the pub wasn't yet open because it was still locked down. But yeah, if you're going to go and head that way now, the George and Dragon's a lovely pub to visit at the end. So I headed from there. You go across the fields and through through the estate there. There's a big estate there. You head through, and then I finished by heading down to the lake, which is a lake called Pickmere Lake. Okay. Again, it was just a lovely route, lovely day, lovely spot, and all off-road, beautiful. That's number 6, almost halfway. Number 5. Yeah, well, this one is one that's dear to me. I went to Kelsall, and so I was brought up in Kelsall, so it's a trip down memory lane for me. And so I ran through Kelsall, past my childhood home, and down the lanes that as a kid I used to roam around and round in a circle. It was just great fun. So it's not really, yeah, there were footpath. It was a mix of road and footpath, and it was just, you know, past all my childhood haunts. I just loved it. So perhaps that one's a bit specific to me, really. If you're from the Kelsall area, I'm sure you would love that video. But it's a lovely spot, so yeah, go and check that one out. Number 4. Okay, so back in beginning of June, again, shortly after the we're not long after the end of lockdown, I headed up to Mow Cop. Now, from Sandbatch, you can't miss Mow Cop. It's on the edge of we're on the Cheshire Plain, and you look that way, and there it is. It's there wherever I go running locally. It's there. And so I went parked up at near Road Heath at Poolside, and ran across to Little Morton Hall, which is an Elizabethan, a Tudor building, beautiful. And from there across and up through Hanging Wood and up to the top at Mow Cop, which is a folly. The Methodists, I believe, used to preach there quite a bit. But it's just one of those, a beautiful spot. So you come up the steps to the castle, the folly, and just all of a sudden appear at the top, and there's just this fantastic view. So if you haven't seen that one, go and watch that one. That was lovely. Well worth the climb. It is a bit of a climb up, that I won't kid you. The climb from when you come up, so you come from the from Little Morton Hall up to the canal at Morton, and then you go up a steep hill and up through Hanging Wood. It's a climb, but it's well worth it. Yeah. Right, so that's number 4. Okay, we're getting close to the top of the list now, so these are some stunners. If you've not any of these you've not watched, go watch them, because they are stunning. Number 3. Well, actually, you can't watch this one yet unless you're a Patreon subscriber, because I filmed this, was it last week or the week before? I've had a hankering to run through Wales, and a while back I ran, it's a Patreon exclusive video, I ran from Prestatyn through to Abergele, and I thought, and because the beauty of running down the Wales coast is the train line runs parallel to the coast as well, so you can just do a one-way route, which is great. So you can get you go as far as you want and get on a train and back to the start. Yeah, so I went to Abergele. So this time I did a 2-day adventure, and I started from Abergele, parked up at Abergele, and then ran down the coast past Pensarn and Llandwlis and on to Colwyn Bay, Roaches down the front there. It's beautiful, really beautiful. And it's this was a much nicer time of year to do it. I did the first one back at the end of August when it was busy, you know, with tourists, and it was hot, whereas much more pleasant doing it this time of year. So yeah, I ran Colwyn Bay, Roaches through to the Little Orme, and that is stunning. So you run up onto the Little Orme, up to the top, and all of a sudden, again, you've got one of these where you come over a lip, and all of a sudden you've got a fantastic view of Llandudno. So yeah, and then I ran through Llandudno up the Great Orme, again another stupendous view, and then I stayed the night in Llandudno, took myself off to Wetherspoons for tea, and stayed the night, a lovely bed and breakfast, and then the following day I ran from Llandudno down to Llandudno Junction, Conway, across the bridge to Conway, and then down the coast there, past Penmamar, and then on to Llanfairfechan. That was long enough for the second day. Was there you go, there's the date, because the second day was bonfire night, so I was concerned I didn't want to be stuck out in the dark on bonfire night, so I made sure I stopped before it got too late, which was a good thing actually, because it did take quite a long time to get back on the train. So make sure you watch out for that when it comes round. So I'm guessing that will be in 3 weeks' time, the first one. So watch out for that. It's great. That was a beautiful, beautiful video and a beautiful route. I'm going to go back. I'm planning to head back to Wales and do in sections, work my way all the way down. So the next section will be down to Carnarvon, and then I'll carry on all the way down the coast, down the Clym Peninsula, all the way down to Aberdaron at the end, then back up the south coast, Abersoch, Pwllheli, Criccieth, down to Porthmadog, and then at that point I'm planning to head inland and up Snowdon. So that's like a long-term project which I'll be doing over the winter and into the spring. So keep your eyes peeled for those too. So that's that. What's next on the list? Another beach one. What is it about running at the seaside I love so much? I don't know. I've filmed a few at the seaside where I've been down from West Kirby, and I've been up from Neston, and beautiful, beautiful spot. Both of those beautiful. But this one is, I'd not done it before, and it's stunning. So do look out. You've got to be careful with the tide time. So this one is Hilbre Island. So you start at West Kirby and the end of the boating lake, and there are 3 little islands. Little Eye, so you head out to the left of Little Eye, and then from Little Eye head to the right of the next island, Middle Hilbre, is it, or Middle Eye? Might be Middle Eye. And then from there you head up to the middle of the up onto the island, and then through to the end of the main island. And it was just such a beautiful, peaceful spot. So not too far, about 4 miles, but just running across the sand. Yeah, I loved that one. Loved it. And that's number 2, which brings us to number 1. My favourite route of the year. So at the end of lockdown, I wanted to do something special. I just been cooped up and wanted to really, we'd not been allowed to travel, and I wanted to go and do something fun, really fun. And so I ran the Sandstone Trail. I was very fortunate. A friend, I parked my car at the end at Whitchurch, and a friend then took me to the starting point at Frodsham. Beautiful day. One of those. It was when was it? April time. So it wasn't too hot, which is a good thing. I did get through quite a bit of water, but it wasn't too hot. But it was a blue sky day. It was just beautiful, gorgeous. And, you know, the Sandstone Trail is just such a stunning route. You're off-road for almost all of it. And you just see, you really cut through, right through Cheshire from Frodsham. You head through to Delamere Forest. And then I did the alternative route where up, because I can't go to Delamere Forest and not go up Old Pale, because that's my favourite hill. So up Old Pale for the view at the top. You can see the whole of Cheshire from up there, and across to the Welsh Mountains, and you can see Liverpool, and it's just a stunning spot. If you've not been up there, go check that out. And then from there, from Delamere, you got through Kelsall and through to Tarpley, and then you just keep going, basically. Bukeley Hill, Peckforton, Bukeley, and on, and then you drop down onto the plain and through to the canal, and then finally through to Whitchurch. And it was a stunning day out and just beautiful scenery. Unfortunately, my camera played up that day, which was annoying. My GoPro died early on, and I had to use my backup camera, so I'm afraid the footage is a little bit juddery, but even so, it's worth watching, because it's just such a great route. I was actually mildly hypothermic at the end. I didn't realise at the very end, you know, it was going dark, and you don't realise I was getting cold without realising. When I stopped, I got in the car and I was so cold. I just couldn't get warm, even after I was wrapped up. I was, but it's all part of the adventure. 35 miles is a long way. I did it as a walk run. Yeah, I'm not, if you've watched my videos, you know I'm not in this to, I'm not one of those chiseled jawed people who's in it to, you know, do some, you know, to climb Everest or anything. I just run to get out into the countryside and enjoy it, and I want to still be doing it when I'm 75. So it's really about just getting out and being sensible. So at a walk run, anybody can cover a long distance. Yeah, so that was that. So, and of course I've not actually finished my year yet. So we're the middle of November now. Hopefully the ankle should feel better soon, and so I've got several good routes left to run, and of course I will definitely be dressing up as Santa again, and I don't know, perhaps I can think up something fun to do dressed up as Santa this year. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope it's rekindled some memories of some of the videos, and if you've missed some of them, perhaps you'll go back and have a look at some of them. Okay, take care, and I'll see you next time. I'm off to go and make some Stollen, so watch out for the Stollen video. See you later.